for someone who has grieved and like lost people in horror, I think like this is the best movie about grief for me in horror. I know we have Hereditary. I know we have this takes the cake for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's really valid because like it's like you mentioned before, this tenderness, right?
Yeah.
That like you don't see, and this addressing of death that you don't see in like horror movies. You always, I feel like you get a lot of like, I don't know, like the scary thing being a metaphor for grief or trauma or whatever, right? Like you get that in, like, I don't know, grief / trauma horror is really in right now. And like I don't mind that. I think it's interesting. But I think that this is one of the movies that like addresses it in like a healing way.
Yeah.
Instead of in a way of like depicting what it feels like to grieve and to be traumatized. This is more like a okay, we are in a world filled with all of this grief and trauma. Here is like the root of it, and here is how we can address it and heal from it.
You make a really interesting point about how normally in horror they give you a monster which is really an iteration of grief. And I think it's interesting because Alex Garland did make the statement that he kind of wanted to subvert normal horror acts, because obviously right in the third act you normally meet the most horrific thing, and he's like, I wrote it in a way where really in the third act you meet the kindest, gentlest character we really have. And I was like, oh, you are correct.
That is, and I like that. I like that subversion. I think it's I don't know, it makes for something really unique. And like not just unique in its own franchise, but unique in the genre in and of itself.